Okay, so today we're going to talk about defending as a unit. So the first player who's closest to the ball is the pressing player. So that player is going to put pressure on the ball. Now don't forget your basic defending technique. When you're doing this, curve your run, get side on and wait for a mistake. The second player is going to provide cover. They're going to move across and put a 45-degree angle to the pressure player. The reason for this is if the attacker gets past the defender, then they can become the first defender applying pressure. The third player provides balance. I've highlighted the attacker on the far side to show that you don't really need to pay attention to them. In the next scene you'll see that when the ball is switched, how to deal with them then. So as you can see, as the ball is switched, the player who was the balance player now becomes the first defender and goes out and puts pressure on the ball. Be aware when you're doing this, if you curve your run a certain way, you can take away the attacking player's options and force the attacker where you want them to go. Now, as the ball is switched, the player who was the pressing player comes across and is now the balance player. The person who's providing cover in the middle has to go across now and provide cover on the other side. Again, if the attacking player beats the defender, that player then becomes the first defender. If the play is coming straight down the middle, again it's the same principle, the closest person presses, but this time there's two cover players. The closest player presses the ball and the two outside players pinch in and cover, again just in case the player gets beat. Like before, I've highlighted the two outside players. Again, we need to be aware of them, but we don't need to worry about them too much. By the time the ball goes to them, we'll readjust and we'll press, cover and balance again. So I wanted to give you two examples, one good example and one bad example. So as you can see here, as the video rolls on, the player turns in, the closest person doesn't press the ball. And see what happens next. The runner runs off his shoulder, the centre back doesn't know which player to go to, ball comes in, and it's a great finish, but it's the worst scenario. Scenario number two is what to do. As you can see, the defenders are nice and organised. There's pressure on the ball, there's cover, and there's two players balancing. They win the ball, they break up the field, and they score. So, here are the basic coaching points for defending as a unit. The closest person presses the ball. Remember when you're pressing the ball, your basic defending techniques. The second person provides cover. Try and cover at a 45-degree angle. If the first person is beat, then this player then puts pressure on the ball. This person should also try and instruct the player pressing the ball where to show the attacker, either inside or outside, depending on how your team defends. The third and sometimes fourth player provides balance. This way, if the ball is switched, they become the first defender and it allows the rest of the team to reorganize.